again, a prelude, as we saw in Boston under Operation Urban Shield, to go door to door to confiscate guns in the inner cities and then eventually to the suburbs. So keep your eyes open. But there's more questions to this TRAYVON Martin case that clearly it's not being talked about. And many of you keep trying to use your logic. You're not racism and white supremacy. White supremacy racism has no logic, man. It has no logic. And you keep trying to struggle in the ground rules that they lay out. Well, if George Zimmerman if he took MMA classes, if George Zimmerman had the gun in the left hand and he right hand, they not trying to hear that. They're not listening to you. And you get yourself caught up in a frenzy talking like that, trying to even think like that. The jury is made up of 5 white women or 6 white women. Now, what's the chances do you think that 6 white women or 5 white women, middle-class white women that are gun owners going to convict a white man or a man that has a white father, the Peruvian mother? What are the last name Zimmerman in Florida, which is in America, which is in the United States of America? And you haven't heard any black leaders, the Al Sharpton and all that misleadership that went down there to Florida, call for a boycott. Not now, but way back then. Way back yonder, man. You didn't hear them call for a boycott then and won't call for economic boycott now. So the only thing you're going to do, you ain't march for Trayvons, Avons, Davons, Tavons, Tayshons, and Evons and others that's been killed in this city. So act like you're concerned about what's really going on down there. You just being whipped up in frenzy and socially engineered and steered by the news media, by the corporate controlled news media. It wants to make this about race. And again, when we begin to look at Zimmerman, and I'm going to have to eventually come back and ask him, go back to Rosewood and ask the question, what was Rosewood really all about down there in Florida? Was it really about race, or was it about class with them 2 Masons, the white man who was a Mason and the black man was a Mason? Was it more about them and that black man wanting to follow the light, even though it wasn't the real light, and allowing everything to happen in Rosewood because he looked out for that white Freemason rather than looking out for what was right for the community down there? And I'll eventually play this clip and raise the issue and ask some things about Trayvon Martin's father and Trayvon Martin's mother. May be painful to some of you, but it's going to have to be asked so you don't lose your life jumping out there over something that you got to stop and ask questions regarding why did they do a blood test on Trayvon's body if he's dead? Was this about organ harvesting and organ trafficking of organs? And if Zimmerman did not have any of Trayvon's blood on him, who does have Trayvon Martin's blood on him? And if he was killed right outside that gated community of the Lake Retreat or Retreat Lakes, then where are the cameras? Where are the other security men that were working that night? But none of that has been presented by the prosecutor, so they all are working together. And again, where's black media? Where's the big radio stations with their 69 stations and 63 stations? They don't have no investigative reporters that can go down there and talk to people in Florida, come back and give you the real story, regardless of who it may incite or indict, black, brown, red, yellow, or white. And they're not giving you any of that information. We're in a very dangerous time, brothers and sisters. Very dangerous time in this country right now. And your president, let me make it clear, is not going to do a dang thing. Your president and Eric Holder is not going to do nothing. If they were, they would have done it by now. If they were, they would have stepped in and done it by now. So stop fooling yourself and deceiving yourself and deluding yourself, because you've negated yourself for too long now. So therefore, these kind of racial profilings will continue in this state, and not just in this state, but around this country right now, because you have a Justice Department that's not concerned about what happened to black people in this country. So we're going to have to use economic withdrawals, economic boycott. But you got to unite with those outside of America that really understand the importance of that and be willing to embarrass them, and just taking a page out of what happened in desegregating Winter Park. When I met one of the ambassadors of the Indian embassy that was there Sunday. But it was because nations withdrew from Gwinnett Park. They forced Gwinnett Park's hand. So you're going to have some nations begin to withdraw something from this country. When you're in Rome, you got to do as the Romans do. So you got to speak the language that they speak when you look at what is happening inside of this country right now, or what's happening in this city. You got to be willing to do what others have done, man. Do what the Jewish community do. They don't get angry. They just say, we're going to withdraw our money. We're going to pull our money back. We're going to pull our services back. And then they get the picture. They ain't lying in, sleeping in, laying in, swaying in. No, they use economics. And that's what we have to be willing to do. But you can't wait on the Shoptons and the Jacksons and the others, man, because they're not going to do it. It's going to take the little small grassroots organizations, the same ones that kept the story of TRAYVON Martin alive, to do it. And Shopton and them ain't go down there to help. They went down there to sit on the story. They went down there to make sure the story didn't go any further. And the actions didn't go any further. If you haven't figured that out by now, Basin and them went down there to make sure that they did shut it down with a party, with a dance. Not with any serious actions and serious directions and serious instructions given out. If you haven't figured that out by now, let me go to the lines and take a few of your calls. I think that's maybe Councilman Stokes. We'll see if we can go to this quick musical break. I'm going to come back in, see if that is him. And if not, we'll open up the lines, take your thoughts, questions, comments. And I'll save some of these clips that I want to share with you on this TRAYVON Martin trial. I'm going to save that for another day, man. But you're going to have to open your heart, open your ears, open your mind. Because there's something more cynical that went on down there in Florida that they're not telling us. And white media is not telling us. And black media is not telling us as well, as far as what really went on down there in Florida around, again, the death of TRAYVON Martin. But you're going to have to ask the questions, man. You think running around them? Well, you Monday morning quarterbacking, Tuesday morning, Monday through Sunday quarterbacking. You want to be CSI, want to be Cagney and Lacey, want to be Kojak, want to be Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. You're using all that logic when you're dealing with racism and white supremacy. There is no logic to it, man. You're going insane in the membrane trying to explain what's going on down there in Florida. We know, as we saw with Emmett Till, a young black boy was murdered, and it was racism and white supremacy. Just cut through the chase, tell the truth, and shame the devil. And the state of Florida has been covering it up from day one. That's what it is. Let me come to the line, see if this is Councilman Stokes. If not, don't forget tomorrow, 5 o'clock, City Hall, budget and taxation hearing, man. So again, this is a call out. This is a call out for the 300 men, 400 men, 500 men. And they tell me 1,000 women want to gather in the park, man. Mayor must got deep pockets, man. The mayor got deep pockets, man. Be writing them checks. But again, they say be careful. Write them checks that you can't cash, man. And be careful is the words of Kwame Ture. Said that J. Edgar Hoover thought he had everybody on lockdown in the country. He didn't count on the slaves. He did not see his slaves rising up, man. But let me come to the line. 410-761-1592. Good afternoon, caller. You on the State of the City.
Hey, good afternoon, Brother Muhammad.
How you doing, brother?
You know, down in Florida, man, they dropped the ball from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, when the police first locked Zimmerman up, he put it with that stand your ground laws, and they never even did a good investigation.
Yes, sir.
You know, they let the guy go. And it was less than 100. It took over 100 days to even rearrest the man.
Yes, sir.
And if it wasn't for the support of the media
Right.
getting involved, you never would have been charged.
That's right. Yes,
So
sir.
they're not planning on doing anything but give us injustice like they did in the very beginning.
That's right. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you for checking in, brother. Appreciate your
Yes,
call.
sir. You have a blessed day.
All right, brother. Peace. And with that, take more of your calls. Good afternoon, caller. You on the State of the City.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Hey, brother, did I hear about this developer tell Councilman Carl Stokes to sit down and shut up?
I don't know, but again, man, as I said before, if he did, then we should have every able-bodied man available in City Hall tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly. Where did he get off talking to a councilman like that anyway?
That's their arrogance, brother. That's their arrogance. And if they talk to a councilman like that, you can imagine what they say to the mayor, right?
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. All right?
All right, brother.
Appreciate you checking in. We'll take more of your calls. 410-761-1592. Get in where you fit in. Fit in where you get in on the conversation. Good afternoon, caller. You on the State of the City.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Muhammad.
Walaikum salam, soldier. Come on with your comment.
Yeah, my thing is that these brothers really want to march, bro. Let's go down here at Harvey's and occupy Harvey's.
That's all you got to do.
And City Hall, I'm talking about during work hours, not no evening or nighttime.
That's right, brother.
Let's occupy that development up there where your man lives, not your man, but where the man lives,
Yes.
with Glenn Middleton, that development up there.
Yes,
let's
sir.
occupy all that. Let's inconvenience her.
That's right, brother.
Every time she go to a bar, Let's take Inky because she loves getting a drink on.
She'll be over Harbor East. So she gonna walk with you uptown. Don't want you walk with her downtown. So we just taking a little stroll, Madam Mayor. Just about 300, 400, 500 of us. That's all. And we don't need no police because y'all got all the police downtown at the harbor. If they could secure the communities uptown the way they secured the inner harbor downtown on 4th of July night, would be another murder uptown in Baltimore City. And if they can do it professionally like they did down at the inner harbor, if they did it professionally at the inner harbor, right? Because racial profiling is in full effect. Them races, and I'm talking about races not just based on their complexion, but that mindset, they can't turn it off, brother. If they're going to profile you uptown, they're going to profile you downtown as well. But maybe the mayor give an executive order say you can't be profiling in the city of Baltimore. Huh?
Yes, sir. Hey, brother, another thing real quick, and I'm going to let you go. Golly, I forgot what I was supposed to say.
All right, brother. Call me tomorrow now, all right? All right. Assalamu alaikum. And with that, we'll take more calls if you want to get in on the conversation. 410-761-1592. Trying to find this clip, man, talking about the military and how the military has been having these drills down in, again, as I said, Florida for the past 2 years, man. But if they having them in Florida, don't you think they having them in your town? Don't you think they having them in your city as well in terms of these drills? So that if there is some action that goes down, of course, they'll be in the front of it. They'll be in the middle of it. They will be behind it. They will be orchestrating it as well so that they can use that problem reaction solution to, again, take away more of the rights of the citizens in the state of Florida, but also in the inner cities of America right now, if you haven't figured that out right now, man. So, again, they say if it's not broke, then why fix it, man? So, again, if it's not broke, they'll use the same, again, as I said before, tactics as they've used before regarding, again, the military and the drills that they have been having in Florida. So I'm trying to find the clip, pull it up, and I'll share it with you, let you hear it for yourself. It's not that long regarding, again, the military drills that's being held. But if you want to get in on the conversation while we're waiting, 410-761-1592. You can get in where you fit in and fit in where you get in on this conversation as we're, of course, looking at the TRAYVON Martin trial, but also looking at, again, your mayor with these walks that they're having in the city of Baltimore, and city police cancel leave on 4th of July. Now, if they can do that on the 4th of July, why don't they cancel their leave for the whole summer with the violence that's going on in the city? But I was talking to some officers. They say they calling supervisors, and supervisors are at home. Supervisors are at home, man, in Harford County. Supervisors are home in Virginia while murders have been going on uptown in Baltimore City. So it lets you see where their priorities are regarding, again, protecting and serving the citizens in the city of Baltimore. So let me come back to the lines, 410-761-1592. And as I said before, I'll come back in and give you more on this TRAYVON Martin trial. But it's been 2 weeks, and the prosecutor case has been too weak. And again, as I said before, the coroner came out and said that TRAYVON Martin was still alive for 3 to 10 minutes after he was shot. So again, they're spending all the time talking about whose voice was heard. Well, where your experts at if you're the prosecutor? You bring in your experts. But if you're dealing from the same deck as the defense, then again, man, you see all of this game going on. And if the TRAYVON Martin family was concerned about justice, why did they settle out of court with the Homeowners Association already for $1 million? Those are more questions that I got to ask. And what of TRAYVON Martin's dad? Connections to the Freemasons, along with Zimmerman's dad, connections to the Freemasons. Those are some questions we're going to have to ask, man. Those are some questions we're going to have to get into, man. And what of TRAYVON Martin's father, the fiance, Brandy Green, that lived in that development? What of her? We really going to have to ask some questions if you're ready to grow to ask those questions. They're going to be some painful questions, but questions will lead to more answers if you're willing to ask those kind of questions regarding, again, what they're showing us, what they're telling us, and compared to what really went on down there in Florida. But let me come back to the line, and still we may hear from Councilman Stokes regarding, again, the hearing tomorrow. But if not, you've been told, so don't act like you don't know, man. You've been told about that hearing. So let all the ones that say they're concerned about black unemployment, let all the ones that marched, not the ones that sincerely came out and marched, but I'm talking about those that they know is marching for the mayor because they take instructions from the mayor. Marching for Nick Mosby because they take instructions from Nick Mosby, man. Marching for Brandon Scott because they taking instructions from Brandon Scott. And all the ministers that stood out there come out and say, we want jobs. Here's their opportunity now, man. The ones who stand in front of Shiloh and some of them other churches, here's their opportunity to put their money where they claim their hearts are. But let me come back to the lines. You can get in on the conversation. Good afternoon, caller. You are on the State of City.
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing, Brother Muhammad?
I'm good, my sister. How are you?
I'm blessed. I just wanted to say to the people, even if you don't live in public housing, please come out tomorrow. I don't live down Perkins, but I will be there tomorrow. Because if they do Perkins, they're going to do the rest of the public housing.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
And, we need men, like you said, to stand